What's up guys, it's Oblivious Gamer here, and well, this video will be my final impressions on Gundam Breaker 4 after putting like anywhere from 10 to 15 hours in the closed network test. Because the final day, they actually didn't do 4 sessions, they just let it run. After the first session, they were just like, okay, we're just gonna let it run, so that was good. I managed to put a lot of hours in. Now, for this video, I wanted to do something a bit different. The Gundam Breaker series is coming out of a rough position with the failure of New Gundam Breaker years ago. The previous game before that, which was Gundam Breaker 3, was extremely loved, a fantastic game, and it's still a really good game to this day. However, that wasn't the situation with New Gundam Breaker. It was kind of like one of the worst ones ever. Now, we are getting Gundam Breaker 4, so they're kind of ignoring New Gundam Breaker, which is why, like, hey, this is Gundam Breaker 4, we're going from 3 to 4. And in a quick summary, I do think the game is very fun, so there's nothing wrong with this. I think it's a lot better than New Gundam Breaker. However, I decided to play a bit of Gundam Breaker 3 so I can talk about how I feel with the changes and see like, okay, how does it hold up? So in this first segment, what I'll be doing is I'll be showing Gundam Breaker 3 footage and versus Gundam Breaker 4. So we're gonna have like a bit of like how it looks graphics, how it looks when the game is playing. So also you guys can have a better idea how both games would look side to side, and you can have like a fresh look at Gundam Breaker 3, which is the best one so far. During the side-to-side, I will not talk, so don't worry, it's not also going to be a long segment, it's just something for you guys to refresh. Now, after playing Gundam Breaker 4, I think the game is on the right direction, especially compared to New Gundam Breaker. However, now that I played Gundam Breaker 3, and I have a more of a fresh look, I do wish there were some changes to Gundam Breaker 4. Gundam Breaker 4 had a network test, which of course, the biggest reason for this was test servers, make sure that everything works online, especially since now you have lobbies with a lot of people in it. Make sure that online works for you to party with 3 people, go into your missions, you don't have to worry about it, make sure that everything is fine in that department. Obviously, that's one of the biggest reasons they did this. I managed to try some of the online matches and lobbies, and they're alright. Like, most of the time I spent repeating missions by myself in hardcore difficulty and grinding for parts. In terms of the lobby, I think it is a nice addition. You're able to look at others' Gunplas, what they have created, how they look. You can interact with people, and it's also very easy to join or for people to join when you're doing a mission, which I think is going to be very helpful to get teams of 3 going, especially if you want to do a hard mission or you just want people to help you out. Very easy, very intuitive. Not a lot to say. I feel it does the job well and it looks fine. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Now that I have played Gundam Breaker 4 and I let it cool, I think the gameplay is fun, but I do have some concerns and hope they do some changes. In this game, you can have 2 melee weapons, your right hand and left hand. Of course, there's also the option of weapons that use both hands, but that wasn't available, or at least I didn't find any. I don't think that was available in this beta. So you will have a button for your right hand weapon and a button for your left-handed weapon. And the same logic applies to your long-range weapons. So you will have your left hand and right hand weapon. For this one's trigger, they're using the trigger. So for example, in me was L2 was left long-range weapon, R2 was right long-range weapon. Square was left-hand melee weapon, triangle was right-hand melee weapon. You get the gist. I think this works fine and everything synergizes well. I do appreciate being able to use 2 long-range weapons. You also have your EX skills, which unlike Gundam Breaker 3, where you also had, skills, in Gundam Breaker 3, kind of like each skill had their own bar. So you have to build up for you to be able to use it. For Gundam Breaker 4, all EX skills share 1 bar. Now that bar can go all the way up to 9. Each EX skill has a cost. So far what I've seen, it ranges from 1 to 3. There could be more. In this test, it was all I managed to see up to 3. Gaining EX bars wasn't that hard at all. In fact, I found myself using EX skills a lot more because it was so easy to get your bar up. Then you have your option skills, which for this game, they always share a cooldown bar. And using different option skills had different effects on your cooldown bar. Some option skills made the cooldown bar take longer, while others were shorter. And well, here's where I kinda wish they tweaked a bit the bar. I feel sometimes it can be restrictive. Of course, I don't know if later in the game it gets better managed, or you get better skills that the cooldown is less. But from when I played, I from time to time found it a bit frustrating, especially after playing Gundam Breaker 3. In Gundam Breaker 3, the optional equipment had their own cooldown bars. Melee weapons, you could go ham. Ranged weapons, of course, it will have to cool down. I feel with how the cooldown bar works and the way that the game flows, it can become restrictive and frustrating to use. Gundam Breaker 4 feels like you can juggle opponents more in the air. There's like a combo meter at the side, and it seems to encourage you and have this emphasis on, okay, keep your combo going. You can get creative with it to extend it. But I feel it's a bit held down by the cooldown bar in the option skills. You kind of get stuck if you decide to use one of the skills, especially one that takes a longer time to cool down. And again, that becomes a bit frustrating because then you have to use your EX skill, and it's just okay, I get it. In Gundam Breaker 3, I was just going ham, switching easily between my options and not having to worry about a cooldown bar affecting all of my skills. But again, my build in Gundam Breaker 3 is after finishing the game, while what I played in Gundam Breaker 4 is just the beginning, so there could be something further down, as I said before, that helps mitigate the cooldown bar, or better skills that consume and or help with the cooldown bar recover quicker, or maybe it's just getting used to the timings. Who knows? I want to give them a bit of leeway here, because again, this is not the full game. But I do want to bring out this comparison, so in case this is how it works, we can compare it to how it was in Gundam Breaker 3. I think it works fine, like things as they are now, but for me, I just wish they were a bit more lenient with that cooldown bar. And let's go ham. Or have the option skills have their own cooldown bar instead of like having them share. In terms of what I also would like to see, the camera needs to be tweaking and work in Gundam Breaker 4. Sometimes there are random zooms, or sometimes it feels like you're just fighting the camera, and especially when there's a lot of enemies. So I feel that can be tweaked and easily fixed, so I'm not too worried about this. The AI needs some work for sure. Enemy AI and your partner AI just feel very dumb. Your AI teammate is very useless, and sometimes they're just standing in one place doing nothing, which again, I don't have that expectation. But the enemy AI just mindlessly attacks, or sometimes they just stare at you doing nothing. Like they're just looking at you. And it's like, aren't you supposed to attack me? Even in hardcore mode, I don't feel that the AI is smarter or that it became harder. Instead, what makes it harder is the completion time and break parts to get the S rank. So instead of being 5 minutes, I have to complete it in 2 minutes and 30, but I don't feel the difficulty increase. I just feel the challenge increase because I have to be quicker. And again, this is the first 3 chapters, so maybe the AI gets better further down the game. But again, if this ends up being how it works, it needs tweaking for sure. Again, I know some of you guys are going to be like, well, this is a network test, so I know, but they also want feedback. And apart from testing their network, they can easily get feedback on how people feel about the game. And well, this is how I feel. And after playing it. So I do understand that maybe not all of you guys, maybe some of you guys are fine with this, which again, is fine. Like, I don't hate the game. I think the game is fun, and I think the game is in the right direction, especially compared to New Gundam Breaker. I feel this could be a fun game, even if they don't do the changes that I ask for. I think it's still gonna work. But with some of the changes that I'm asking, I think it could be a lot more enjoyable, and it's gonna be fun that way. But again, fun is subjective. But yeah, I mean, overall, graphics, I think, this one is very hard. I think Gundam Breaker 3 and Gundam Breaker 4, they both look alright. I think Gundam Breaker 4 looks a bit better, but I don't think it's a big jump, which is why I have seen some people being like, it looks worse. Like, I don't think it looks worse. I think it just doesn't look a lot better. Same with the environment. The environment is very bland. But again, I mean, it's not like that's the whole thing. Like, you're mostly fighting, so I don't know how many people would care about the environment. The other thing is, I hope there's variety in missions. For everything that I was playing were just defeat the waves. So I was fighting waves after waves after waves. It wasn't long. It felt a lot more shorter than Gundam Breaker 3 missions. But I'm just hoping that there's a bit of variety and not everything is wave after wave after wave. But yeah, I think the game is, like I said, on the right track. I'm very excited to see more of Gundam Breaker 4. Hopefully they do a network test on the West so other people can try the game, because this network test was only available in Japan. Plus, I feel more people giving them feedback will be a good thing, so they can make a fun and good game that everybody loves, because people want to like this game. People want to be hopeful for Gundam Breaker 4. Everybody's excited and everybody's hoping this ends up a good game. But yeah, I mean, that's it for me, guys. As always, though, what are your thoughts? This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.